Friday. We made it. We made it. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh, it is so good to see you. It's been a long time since we got together. I think the last time we got together was on Monday, no? I'm so super excited to see you. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about our week, shall we? This week was absolutely bananas for me. How was it for you guys? I'm very interested to hear and to see how you're doing. Go ahead and put in the chat how your week was. If anything exciting happened, anything crazy happened. We are now in December, you guys. I feel like it's less than, okay, wait, let me do the math. So today is December 4th, and I believe there's 31 days in December. So we are right there, you guys. 2021 is about to be awesome. So exciting. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our date night, shall we? Oh, Takia says, hey. Hi. How you doing? I hope your week was good, Takia. Let me know in the chat how your week went. So let's go ahead and get started because I feel like it's date night. It's all about me and you and our time together and that one-on-one chemistry, right? So I feel like I'm here and you're here. So if anyone else who's not here, they'll just come on a little later. They might have to order their food later, but it is what it is. So excited. Let's see. Busy, it says my first week, not full-time teaching this year in 18 years. Accomplishments. So excited for you. Let's see. It says my week was awesome. I became a corporate partner with Crunch, the Gym Crunch. Yes. And posted my first reel with your encouragement. It's all about visibility, you guys. Be seen, be out there. If you think that visibility does not work, why do all of these big box stores have tons of commercials, pay millions and millions of dollars for 30 seconds, right? Put yourself out there, put your business out there, and many, many amazing things will come. All right. So let's go ahead and roll right into tonight's sponsor. So this week's Friday night session is sponsored by Danielle Brantley. She is a special guest. She is phenomenal, you guys. She provides a real needed solution out here in the community for businesses and nonprofits. I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. She'll be on ever so shortly. And the topic she's going on tonight, just so you'll know in the beginning, is grant writing tips for businesses and nonprofits. So if you know someone who has a business or nonprofit and they need some tips on grants and how to find grants and strategies to make your application better, tell them about this live. You do not want to miss this Friday night session, okay? Go ahead and stick around. She'll be out shortly. So for all my peeps on date night on YouTube, hi, how are you? Don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share this video and many of our other videos. I absolutely love it. Shortly thereafter tonight's session, it'll be updated with a new YouTube tile. And I'll be like this. It's going to make you want to like the video. You just have no idea. Just go ahead and do it now. You'll save a couple seconds later on. Okay. Says the Reels challenge has been awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited that you said that, Takia. So inside of our group and inside of this other group that I'm in, we're actually doing a visibility challenge on Instagram. So we are doing this exciting thing called 25 Days of Reels Challenge. Don't worry if you missed it. We'll roll it back because the feedback has been phenomenal and amazing. And the women in the group who are actually doing the Reels Challenge are coming out of their comfort zones, are showing their personalities, showing their accomplishments. And they have what is this? Today's the 4th, 21 more days to go. Keep a lookout for them. They're going to be everywhere. They're phenomenal. Their product and business is amazing. You just wait and see. So I'm so glad Takia is enjoying it. And I feel like everybody else who's doing the challenge is having fun too. I actually did my reel yesterday on TikTok first. And I got a new TikTok follower. It's my second TikTok. I feel so old, you guys. But it's my second TikTok ever. So talk about overcoming some fears, right? All right, so let's go ahead and roll into our weekly wins. Put your weekly wins in the comments. If you haven't already told me what it is, I actually have 3 I want to go over. Someone in our women entrepreneurs who left the 9 to 5 or want to group. It's a phenomenal group. If you want to be in it, go ahead and do a join. Someone, her name is Jamie. She said she decided to go all in on her bookkeeping business. Let's love on Jamie, you guys. If you have not started your business, or if you have a side hustle and you're working a 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever that shift is, and you've decided to go all in, you are a warrior, my friend. You should be very proud of yourself. It is not a small feat of what you're doing. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of tenacity, a lot of resilience. Go you. I'm very proud of you. And tell me what your business is so I can love on you, right? Takia says her win yesterday was she outlined her new book. Go Takia. And course at the same time after having a much needed conversation with a stranger. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. There's posts that go around all the time that says there's nobody that will support you more in your business than a stranger or someone you met on social media. It is absolutely 100% true, right? And then Crystal says she finished her sales page. That's what I'm talking about. Need persuasive writing. Take people on a journey. Make sure that they know that this is a value, it's jam-packed, and that they need this now. So I'm super proud of you, Crystal. So very proud. Okay, so can I share my win? I feel like you said yes. Okay. So my win this week is a new business relationship. Something I've been working on with this particular group since February of this year. Multiple conversations, very long conversations, very detailed, just making sure that we are aligned and that my business is right for their business. And finally close the deal today, people. Today. So super excited and very proud of myself and my team to make me feel confident in these meetings, to make sure we can take on new accounts. So blessed, you guys. There's nothing better than cultivating a relationship for a very long time and making sure you see it over to the finish line. So go rockin' business owners. Super happy. Someone says, when landed my first 2 paying clients in my coaching business. So proud of you. Congratulations. If this is someone in the group, go ahead and click the link above for StreamYard so we can see your name and love on you. But I'm going to love on you even though I have no idea who you are. I'm so proud of you. Hopefully these are some awesome high ticket clients that you got into your coaching business. And if you got your first one, it's downhill from there. People attract other people. And these 2 people are going to give you some additional high paying clients. I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of this little harem that I have, these people that I know that just are beyond amazing. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So let's go into what I want to know. I still want to know how your week was. I got some awesome positive affirmations that people had some amazing bang out weeks to close out November and to start December. I will tell you one thing. I'm not a big holiday person. Like I don't like decorations. Wrapping paper on gifts just seem kind of pointless to me because it's like you're paying to throw paper away. Like I just don't get it. It doesn't like align with my mental state. But I will say that I'm super excited that December is here. People are just a little bit nicer around the holidays. People are just, they have so much more imagination. And I feel like it's just a good time of year overall. And that means that 2020 is about to go out the door and 2021 is knocking on my window, y'all. Oh, so excited. Okay, so let's roll into our mission, shall we? So mission 100, and we're going to do it now because we have a special guest and I want to make sure she has enough time. Be a part of our mission 100. Assist-U is helping 100 businesses launch a new product or service in the next 365 days. So by the end of July 2021, we are going to meet our goal, you guys. I don't know what it is. No, I do know what it is. It's the branding, it's the message, it's the visibility, it's all of the things that we're teaching in all of our courses and in our groups. They are working in our favor, and we are constantly getting more and more new opportunities to help reach our mission, which is the mission 100. So if you want to be a part of the mission 100, go ahead and book a virtual coffee with myself or a discovery call. And we'll go ahead and figure out how to get you onboarded so we can make your objectives executed, right? So, super excited. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. So, just a quick reminder, if you were not here at the beginning because you were late for our date night, I'm not going to call you out. How people call out people when they come into church late and they sit in the back row and everybody just kind of turns around. I'm not going to do that to you, but you know who you are. Tonight's topic is grant writing tips for businesses and nonprofits. So excited to meet Miss Danielle Brantley. She's going to come on in a few seconds. So when she does, you guys, please blow up our comments. Let her know how excited you are to have her here, and get your pen and your paper out and take some notes. If you are missing a pen or a paper because you have 5 kids like I do and they keep stealing my pens, no matter how many I purchase, watch the replay. I promise you will get some awesome gems and tips tonight, okay? All right, awesome. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the amazing, the lovely Miss Danielle Brantley. Here she is, you guys. Hi. Hi.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. It is so nice to meet you. And thank you for spending your Friday night date night with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you too. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yay. Okay, Miss Danielle. So I met you briefly backstage a little bit, but go ahead and let the audience know who you are and what you do and what is your skill set, your level of expertise. Where are you at?
My name is Danielle Brantley, and I am a grant writing consultant and content writer. I help businesses and nonprofits secure funding and create engaging content to grow their businesses. I officially started grant writing in 2017, and I did a soft launch of my business in 2017, and I officially launched last year. So how I learned was basically by experience, hands-on experience. I did take several courses in grant writing, but for the most part, everything was by experience, just hands-on job experience.
I love that. A lot of the things that I've learned about business and human resources and how to navigate different conversations was learned on the job in corporate America. There's just something about real world experience versus just taking a digital course, right? That can give you some awesome value, but there's nothing like being thrown into the deep end, right?
Definitely.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and roll into your topic since now we know where your business started and who you are. So what can you tell us about, that's the wrong one. What can you tell us about grant writing tips for businesses and nonprofits?
The first tip that I can give is really to make it practical is to think of it as the job application process. So there's a lot of similarities between the job application process and the grant application process. And the reason why I like to use that example or analogy is because it's something that everyone is pretty much familiar with that you can understand. And so when you think about the job application process, there's steps that you have to take, and it's the same way with the grant application process. And so one of the biggest tips that I always tell people is don't overlook the beginning stages. And that is the grant prospect research, or like when you're applying for a job, that's actually you searching for jobs to apply for.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say from a lot of consultations that I've had, in different groups that I'm in, different Facebook groups, a lot of people sometimes get discouraged when they apply for different grants and they find out they didn't win it and they weren't awarded. But then when I look at the grants that they applied for, they actually were not grants that they should have ever applied for in the first place. And what I mean by that is it wasn't a good match. It wasn't a match. So like, for example, when you apply for a job, there's some people that will say, "Oh, apply even if you don't qualify, just take a chance." That's bad advice. If you don't,
Yes.
I'm sorry, if you don't qualify, don't apply. That's
Right.
that's number one, because first of all, it will save you time and energy, and then again, like I said, you won't get frustrated Because if you don't qualify, you're not going to get it. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people get confused because they think, oh, well, I have a great business idea. I have a great program. They're going to love this, which you probably do. I'm not saying that it's not, but you have to look at it from their perspective. And so you actually waste your time and energy, and you can unnecessarily discourage yourself if you're applying for applications and opportunities that you don't qualify for. So that's number one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So, because I have an HR background and I'm reviewing these resumes of totally unqualified applicants, right? It frustrates me and it makes me annoyed. And as the reviewer, right? So, if I am a grant application reviewer, this is a whole business. This is a brand. This is something you invested in. So, while they may not be able to go on your LinkedIn or write a bad review because it's unethical, if they see a commercial or if they see an ad for your business, that might leave a sour taste in their mouth. Like, these people have no idea who they are and what their mission is, and they're not aligned, and they just have no idea. And I think that, to me, that would be a bad first impression. Would you agree?
Right, it is. Because also another tip is that when you're applying for different grant opportunities, like you said, it can be an example for you to build different relationships with funders. So, for example, especially for nonprofits, for some of the grant opportunities, they have different requirements. So, for example, they may have you actually, well, now we're in the age of COVID, so it wouldn't be in
Mm-hmm.
person, but they have you do sessions where you have to actually learn about the grant and the organization, especially when it comes to federal grants. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
requirement for you to even apply. So this is even before they give you funding. They will say you have to attend these 2 sessions or however many it is, because they want to make sure that you fully understand that this is how you have to apply. And so I want to emphasize that because I feel like that's something that people just glaze over.
Mm-hmm.
Think they're just focused on their organization, their business. This is great. They're going to love it. And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from people and saying that it's not great, but like I said, you have to, and this may sound very simple, but you will be amazed how many people don't do this. You have to read and follow directions. You
No,
have to
I'm
read.
not surprised. No. Okay. So the first tip is to make sure that you meet the criteria of the businesses or the nonprofits that they're wanting to award these grants to. So, what is the second tip, would you say?
Right. And so, just to piggyback off of that, just making sure that your mission aligns. And for example, it aligns with their focus, their giving priorities or their focus. So, for example, let's say you have, and this is for a nonprofit, you have a nonprofit that serves homeless people. And so,
Mm-hmm.
in that, you provide meals, you provide housing. And so you think that, okay, well, this is a grocery store and they have a grant. So they serve food. So let me apply again. Just because it's a grocery store and you need money for food does not mean that they are going to fund your program. If they say that their focus is children, that's their focus. So even if someone may say, oh, well, with homeless, you can serve families and that includes children. But when they say children, they mean a specific focus on kids programming. And that's not the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just like I said, just making sure your mission and is aligned with their giving focus. And really that is the foundation to start. And then when you are actually applying, once you get past the research stage or the job search stage, when you do your application, making sure that you're thorough. So like for example, when people apply for jobs, the main document is the resume and the cover letter. It's the same thing with grant writing. There are cover letters even with grant writing. So it just depends on the funding opportunity and what they require. Some of them may not require a cover letter. A lot of federal government grants do require that. But then when you're coming to grant writing, the resume is what is like similar to what I call and what they call the executive summary. And the executive summary basically gives the history of your organization. So it would include things like, how long you've been operating, the programs that you have, the services that you provide, basically kind of like a organizational overview. So it's the same thing with your resume. And
Mhm.
so my biggest tip and takeaway that I want people to know is that you should always focus on impact. Focus on impact and how your organization or your business has impacted the community through your programs and services. Always focus on impact. And like I said, it's similar to when you're applying for a job. What do they tell you? Don't just put job descriptions. Don't just put down what your job duties were. Show how you were a valuable employee. Show that you were able to be a team player. Show your successes, your wins
Mhm.
in your resume and then in your application. And so the same goes for applying for a grant. You have to make sure that you focus on the impact so that you are being very explicit to the funder about why your program or your project is needed and also the value that it is going to provide.
I love that. That makes so much sense with the scenario that you gave about the grocery store and the business for the homeless. To me, if a grocery store is focusing on funding children programs, food for children programs, that to me would say more or less like an after school care program or something that is like a daycare and they're maybe struggling for whatever reason, but they've been able to award scholarships to students to come. So those are the things that I was thinking about when you were giving that example. And then I also love the point where you were talking about the resume and the cover letter. Because I've never applied for a grant, I didn't think that the executive summary was the biggest chunk and piece of a grant application. It is also a big piece of like a business plan, right? So to me, I'm sorry, in your opinion, would you say if a person has a business plan and they're going to apply for a grant, they should beef up their executive summary and maybe consolidate it into one or a couple of paragraphs under that section?
Yes, so it all depends on the specific grant that you're applying for, because they do, specify exactly what they want you to include, what
Mm-hmm.
information. So I always tell people, because I've run across a lot of people that actually will tell me, I don't have a business plan. And that's actually okay. If you don't have a business plan, it will not stop you from applying for a lot of grant opportunities. Is it helpful to have a business plan? Definitely is very helpful, because sometimes they will ask for information like your budget. And so you would already have that within your business
Business
plan.
plan.
But
That's
as far
right.
as what you were saying with the executive summary, yes, so you can make sure that and this is more so for nonprofits, you can make sure that you are, like I said before, very specific about the program and the service that you are providing that matches that particular, what they call, funding opportunity or their giving priority. So, like, for example, going back to the example with the homeless, if your program, you're trying to start a shelter, open up a shelter or build a shelter, then you want to focus on that specific program, but still give an overview of your organization so they can see your organizational capacity to execute the program or project. And for businesses, like I said, it depends on the specific grant, because a lot of people, are at the stage where they're more so looking at startup funding. So you've officially started your business, but you need some essentials like maybe, technology,
Mm-hmm.
assistance with marketing and advertising. And
Inventory, would that
right,
be?
inventory. And
Mm-hmm.
so even with that, you have to pay attention to the specific grant and what they will allow you to use the funding for. So I always say that, grants are great because it's free money, but then also just pay attention to how they want you to use it. So as long as they say it's okay for you to use the money for, purchasing equipment or, like you said, inventory, then that's fine. So that's why I said, going back to the beginning, reading is fundamental.
Yes.
You really, because you would be surprised. Like I said, I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook, and I see people ask questions or, sometimes get discouraged. But like I said, some things is kind of going back to what I would say, like the fundamentals, where, it's people are missing opportunities. It's not even some type of rocket science thing. It's some things are very basic. Um, so yes.
Is there any other strategy that you want to share to make your application possibly like move to the top of the database or the entries that they receive, that you've seen that working at? Obviously every company agency who's giving a grant is different, but what overall would you say would be helpful?
Well, I would say definitely also to remember to tap into your network. And a lot of times people will tell me, like, oh, I need help with finding, grant opportunities, or I need help, finding people that I can partner with. And so when I say tap into your network, is you would be surprised, maybe it's another business that has a similar mission as you, provide similar services or products. Talk to each other. You may learn something from another business. You may learn about a grant that they won and that you
Mm-hmm.
also qualify for because you have a similar business. And the same goes for nonprofits. So it definitely benefits to, network and talk to other people, because that's one way that you can find out about opportunities, and also you can partner together. So some of the grants, they allow you to have what's called a fiscal sponsor, and so that can be an option for, businesses, or especially nonprofits that are new, and they may not have as many funding opportunities as businesses or nonprofits that are more seasoned and experienced. So I always say that it's better to work together. There's so many people, and I can say this from my personal experience, even with my business, there have been other grant writers or, other businesses, and we do similar services. We offer similar services, and we have found a way somehow to help each other out, whether it's referring clients. So, for example, I'll give a real example. One lady, she actually does the filing for nonprofits. I don't provide that service. So, when I have people that come to me and I know they're not ready to apply for a grant, well, guess what? I can refer them to her, and vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. She may have clients that come to her, and they, maybe they have their 501(c)(3) now, and they need help with fundraising. They may not necessarily be ready to apply for a grant, but I can help them set the foundation for their fundraising plan so that they will be prepared. So that, I'm just, don't underestimate the power of networking.
Yes.
I'm a witness. I believe in that. Stress that. Mhm.
So do I. I love cross pollinating audiences as much as we possibly. That's how I met you. So it definitely works, and it flourishes some very beautiful and profitable relationships. Call them power partners. You have a referral partner, a power partner. So I love that. That is awesome. So Darlene says that she is loving this awesome date night. So kudos to you, Darlene. And then Sheila says, can your company help her find a grant? Sheila, I'm so sorry. Um, so I know that's one of the topics. So how to find business grants and nonprofit grants outside of the network. So what would you suggest?
Okay, so for nonprofits, I highly recommend the grant databases. So, for example, the one that I use is the Foundation Center Directory Online, which, by the way, is a great resource. The Foundation Center, they're also known as Candid, and they have a wonderful database. And I tell people this all the time. They used to have it where you have to pay for subscriptions. That's still the case, but now they also have the option where you can go to your local library website because of COVID, and you can access it for free. Now, this is something that I found out for Georgia. I'm in Georgia. I'm not sure about other states, but pre-COVID, I'll talk about pre-COVID. So before COVID, you could go to the library, usually your main local library, and ask for access to the Foundation Center directory online, and they will actually log you in with their credentials. And they, like I said, they have a wonderful database. And not only does it give you information about grants that you could possibly be eligible for, but it gives you the background history of the funder. So, for example, it tells you how much money they have awarded in grants over the past 5 years. So, as a grant writer or as a person that's applying for the application, why that's important is because sometimes the applications don't tell you exactly how much money the grant award is for. So, you can use that as a guide to measure how much money you should ask for in alignment with, similar their giving patterns, their history.
Right.
So
Don't
I
price yourself out of it. Hmm.
Yes, exactly, because you can do that. So, yes, I highly recommend that for nonprofits. And then for businesses, I have a couple of specific recommendations. So, for women, I highly recommend I Fund Women. It's a platform where you can, not only does it have grants, it also has crowdfunding, and different investors, and of course business grants. You can fill out a universal grant application, and then any grants that you qualify for, you're notified through their platform. Highly recommend them. And they also have another branch called I Fund Women of Color, which is for women of color. It's like a subsidiary of them. So I recommend them. And then for just all businesses, another website platform is Hello Alice. And actually, they had a lot of grant opportunities for businesses that were impacted by COVID. And then, last but not least, I highly recommend the Small Business Administration, because the Small Business Administration provides many resources for small businesses, including helping you find funding opportunities. So, the federal government usually awards grants to nonprofits and government. But what happens is when they award the money to governments, it basically trickles down. So the federal government, then the state, and then local government. So there are some federal grant opportunities sometimes as well for small businesses, usually called economic development grants. And so, again, those can be opportunities where you may qualify for a grant, your small business, or you may be able to partner with another business or have a fiscal sponsor through the local government, whether it's city or county. So, those are just a couple of options. Oh, and one more for businesses is professional associations too. So, like for example, I believe it's called the National Association of Self-Employed, and even for women, like your local business bureaus. I'm again to give a personal example of with my business, how it was helpful. One time I was doing a consultation with someone, and I asked them, I said, I said, oh, how did you find out about me? Like, how did you, because I just was curious, wanted to know. And they said it was from, I think, like the Atlanta Women's Better Business, not Better Business, but the Bureau. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, so
You were
I'm
just
like,
on the listing. Yeah,
right. I'm
that's
thankful.
awesome. That's not advertised dollars right there.
Yes. So don't sleep on that either. Professional associations, like again, kind of going back to the networking piece, is a great opportunity too for you to find.
Hmm. I was just thinking, the question I was going to ask you is, do you think it would, well, obviously it makes good business sense to get a certification. So certified minority owned business, certified women owned business, because I imagine they have grants out there for those people who have the certification specifically, right?
Right. So they actually have also two contracts. Now, I don't work with government contracts. In the future is something that I probably will look into. But right now, I
Okay.
offer that service. But yes, so that's another thing that the Small Business Administration can help you with as far as getting your certification to be a minority certified business or a women And they have it varies from state to state, the different certifications that they have. So like yes, so that's why I said definitely the Small Business Administration, because they
Mhm.
can help you learn about opportunities that are available specific to your state, and then your county government and local government. And then also that's another option too, is go to your state website too and your county website to see what opportunities they have available for funding.
All right, awesome. I love it. There's so much money around that you can get if you know how to find it and apply for it. So that's why I'm always like, there's no excuse. What's the excuse? There's no excuse. I don't think so. You need to link up with someone like Danielle to help you all apply for your free money for your grants, right? So Gingerly had a question. She says, "Can you have a for-profit business with a nonprofit arm?"
Yes, you definitely can. And the best way I explain this to people is if you think about a lot of your popular major companies and corporations. So, like, for example, your Walmart, Target, different businesses, they have, a nonprofit arm as well. So, yes, you definitely can do that. You can have your business LLC or, whatever your classification is, and then you can have a nonprofit.
As like the secondary company. So the parent company could essentially be a profit company. And then, gotcha. All right, awesome. That was an awesome question. So Sheila, the answer to Sheila's question about can you help me find grants, I let her know to go to your website. And that pushes us into the giveaway tonight. So can you give us a little detail about tonight's giveaway?
Yes. So for the giveaway, I am offering free grant writing consultations for anyone that needs it. And all you have to do is go to my website and then click the book now button. And basically, the grant writing consultation consists of me, first of all, evaluating your organization and determining, first of all, if you're ready to apply for grants, and then just giving you some insight into specific grant opportunities that you can apply for and action steps that you need to take immediately based on where you are in your business or nonprofit.
So basically, don't come to the free consultation just asking high level overview questions. Have some really good research questions so you can make the most out of your session with Miss Danielle. Are these sessions 30 minutes or an hour, 45 minutes?
So the sessions are there for this, they're usually 15 minutes, but I'll do 30 minutes.
Oh, that's so nice. You guys might think that that's not a lot of time, but trust me, when you have a one-on-one session with an expert, that is quite a bit of time. I promise you, you're probably going to run out of questions. So that's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put her contact information in the ticker tape. Let's go ahead and put that in there. So please reach out to her. At Prime Writing Solutions is her handle on Instagram and Facebook. Go ahead and like her Facebook page. Follow her on Instagram for more insider tips. She also has some freebies on your Instagram feed, right?
Yes, I do have a checklist, a grant ready checklist for nonprofits. It can also apply to businesses, except for the 501c3
Mhm.
information. But yes,
So
that's on.
I would strongly suggest if you guys don't know what questions to ask her or where you're at in your journey to apply for grants before you book your free consultation, go follow her on Instagram. Please look at her freebies and maybe you can jot down a couple of the answers there. So when you go in, you're prepared and you're ready to receive the wealth of knowledge she's going to get you. So look into your ticker tape. Her information is linked here. And I just want to say, Miss Danielle, like, thank you. Thank you so much for connecting with me. Thank you so much for showing up for my audience and for your audience and letting us get to know a little bit more about you, your personality, and your expertise. This is phenomenal information. I think no one should sleep on it, to be honest with you. So, super happy to meet you.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. It was a privilege to be here.
Aw, thanks. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send you backstage. If you have maybe like 3 minutes to do a proper goodbye behind the scenes with me, if you don't mind staying on.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Let me see. So everyone says, so Miss Darlene says, this is a great date night. Teresa said, agreed. Loving it, loving it. Somebody says, super excited. So yes, I absolutely love it. There was one last question before you go. Ginger says, don't associations have a different classification?
Associations. What does she mean? Like professional associations?
I'm thinking so, because this came in right around the time you were talking about professional associations.
Oh, well, I'm not sure what she means by a different classification. So
I'm not sure.
what I meant by professional associations is they can be also a source for finding funding opportunities, so finding grants, and for networking as well. So
Mm-hmm.
for example, your local professional associations or even national have grant opportunities that are only available to people that may be members, for example. Oh, okay, that is it. Yes. And
Okay.
so I may get the name a little bit wrong, but I think it's National Association of the Self-Employed. Like, for example, they have growth grants. They're, I think, $4,000, and they do it, I believe, every month or every quarterly. And so some people may say, oh, well, I don't want to join because I have to pay. But if you think about like any type of organization or, membership that you've been a part of, like even, for example, a gym,
Mm-hmm.
you pay that fee, but then there's benefits that come with it. So for me, I feel like it's worth the cost because it's not like you're not getting any benefit from it. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm a part of various different associations and organizations that are just for women or 6-figure, 7-figure earner women. And it's not just for the trainings, but it's also to the access, right?
Exactly.
To the other people that you can meet that can help your business thrive and flourish. It's definitely, I think, is phenomenal. And for anyone who says, oh, I don't want to join, I don't want to pay to have friends, you're not paying to have friends. You're paying to have relationships, to have the access, and to get additional trainings from people who've made millions, probably dollar more money than you. And they're giving you the inside secrets to teach you how to do it yourself. So I love me a good network. So it's awesome. All right, Miss Danielle, I'm going to go ahead and send you to the back. And I will go ahead and come and say a proper goodbye to you in just a second, okay?
Okay.
All right, everybody say bye, Danielle.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, you guys. I really, really hope that you enjoyed tonight's date night. There are many, many more special guests for our date nights to come. I promise we are bringing you the experts. They're answering your questions live for you to go ahead and move forward and take some actionable steps within your business or your organization or your idea for a business. And also to make all of us a little bit better, right? So I'm super excited we got to meet Ms. Danielle, and definitely take her up on that free consultation. Follow her on Instagram. I love following entrepreneurs who can always teach me something on a daily basis. So go ahead and get it together, okay? So until we meet again, I don't know what I'm going to do without you guys. I'm going to miss you. But until I see you on Monday, because that's when our Business Nights with Antonia is the next airing, I hope you guys find someone to tell them that you love on your business, stay focused, be productive, and stay happy. All right, you guys. Bye.